The House will come to order. Members, please take your seats. Head page.
The House is now in session. All persons not entitled to privileges of the floor, please retire to the gallery.
The members will rise and be led in prayer by Pastor Scott Showalter, Truth and Grace Ministry, Broadway, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, which will be led by the delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me this morning. Please join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, as we draw closer to session officially concluding for this season, we want to pause and turn to you in prayer. You who are and should be the source of our discussions and the source of our decisions. Father, we thank you for the men and women, the state legislators here who have devoted 60 full days plus of their time, their energy to benefit the citizens of this great state of Virginia. We're also grateful to you, Father, for watching over and protecting their families while each of them have been away. And Father, we sincerely appreciate you extending travel mercies to each of them traveling to and from Richmond, the capital, each week for the past 3 months. Though these might seem like very small things, are truly gracious blessings you bestowed upon us, each of our state legislators and their families today and throughout session. Father, you most certainly need to be the foundation, the reason, and the centerpiece of why we're all gathered here, why the respectful discussions need to take place, and Father, why the righteous decisions need to occur. Father, we ask that you grant each of us the reminder that you should be the driving force in who we are, what we do, and why we do it. Please help us to never lose sight of that or be ashamed of that under any circumstances. Father, your holy word reminds us to put on a heart of compassion, of kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience, bearing with one another and forgiving each other. Whoever has a complaint against anyone, just as the Lord forgave you, so you must do also. In addition to all these things, put on love, which is the perfect bond of unity. So despite our disagreements or stances on specific issues, topics, or bills, help us, Father, to not forget your inspiring and encouraging words. Guide us in your example and your attributes of humility, servitude, civility, gentleness, patience, forgiveness, compassion, kindness, and most importantly, your love. Yes, even in the political realm. Yes, even in the House chamber. And yes, even on the different sides of the aisle. We ask all of this in the name of your one and only Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The members will answer the roll call by indicating their presence on the electronic voting board. Clerk will close the roll.
Mr. Speaker, a quorum is present.
Pursuant to House Rule 3, I've examined and approved the Journal of the House of Delegates for Thursday, March 12, 2026. Motions and resolutions under Rule 39 pursuant to the provisions of Rule 40 are now in order. Does the clerk have any announcements or communication?
Not at this time, Mr. Speaker. Accordingly, pursuant to House Rule 40, in this first portion of the morning hour, Speaker requests you use your request to speak button for the agenda items listed for reference up on the voting board.
The delegate from Rockingham, Delegate Wilk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for an introduction.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, it's my pleasure today to introduce my pastor, Scott Showalter, who gave our opening prayer this morning. Pastor Scott is a graduate of Turner Ashby High School. He went on to attend Bridgewater College, where he earned a Bachelor of Science degree and was certified in elementary education and special education. During his time in education, he also pursued graduate studies at James Madison University, earning a master's degree in reading education and educational leadership and school administration. Professionally, Pastor Scott spent 17 years in public education, beginning as a fourth grade teacher at John C. Myers Elementary School. Over the years, he served students in several roles, including teaching third grade, and later working in special education. In 2022, after many years in the classroom, he felt a strong calling to ministry and was ordained as a pastor. Today, he serves as the pastor of Truth and Grace Ministries in Broadway, and he has continued his studies as well, completing the certificate program in biblical studies at Regent University in 2024. Pastor Scott's joined today in the gallery with his wife, Amy, and together they have 2 young children, Grant and Mia. And I ask the body to give them a warm house welcome.
Welcome to the Capitol, Pastor Showalter. The delegate from Richmond City, Delegate Carr.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today for an introduction.
The delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to introduce a group of Virginians who represent the very best of our community's spirit and resolve. In the fall of 2025, a beloved resident of Richmond's downtown Lowe's, a cat known to thousands as Francine, accidentally boarded a delivery truck and vanished. She was eventually located 85 miles away in a distribution center in North Carolina. What followed was nothing short of extraordinary. The individuals gathered here today formed Task Force Francine. They didn't just post on social media, they coordinated a multi-state rescue operation. They leveraged national petitions, deployed thermal drones, and partnered with local and national animal welfare organizations to ensure our Queen of Broad Street returned safely to her domain. Their efforts didn't stop at the rescue. Though Francine's Fest, they turned local celebrity into a force for good, raising vital funds for animal welfare organizations across our region. Please join me in welcoming the members of Task Force Francine as they stand now. The Task Force Francine from Best Friends and Richmond SPCA to the gallery and commending them on their tenacity, their compassion, and their successful mission to bring Francine home.
Well, welcome to the Capitol. I don't see a cat running around here, so we're going to have some proof for that. The delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Watts.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for a request.
The delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With great frustration and humility, I ask a request to file a commending resolution after the deadline. I didn't hit the button in time, and it has been prepared by LIS, and it honors one of the pillars of my community.
Delegate from Fairfax, the longest serving member here other than Terry Kilgore, who knows all of the rules, is requesting that the body allow her to introduce a commending resolution via unanimous consent. All those in favor shall say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The motion is agreed to. The delegate from Chesapeake, Delegate Leftwich.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for introduction.
The delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, members, we have with us the Knight family. If I could ask them to stand and be recognized. We have Paula, Barry's 3 boys, Hunter, Kyle, Forrest, Hunter's wife, Jana, Forrest's wife, Molly. Kyle's wife, Marissa, was watching after babies today, probably couldn't make it. So as you can tell, although Paula was quite an athlete in her high school days, the boys got their brawn from Barry. I have to admit, the boys got their intellect from both Barry and Paula. And I hope he's not listening, but it's obvious they get all their looks from their mama. Throughout the last 2 years, and I'll say this because I have the mic and they don't, over the last 2 years they received many text messages, emails, visits, and most importantly, prayers. And so on behalf of the family, I'd like to say thank you to the body for all those, and we'll keep you in our prayers. Lastly, I would say that I miss my friend, but it warms my heart to have their family here with us today, and I hope the House gives them a warm house welcome. Thank you. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
The delegate from Chesapeake, Delegate Leftwich.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I forgot to mention something. I have a paper copy of the resolution that we passed earlier in the session, and it's going around the chamber. And if everybody could sign that to present to the family at a later time, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. Welcome to the Capitol, and obviously all of our prayers are with you and your family, and we're so sorry for your loss. The delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for a motion.
The delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I move that House Resolution 420 on page 6 of the calendar be referred to the Committee on Rules.
Delegate from Fairfax moves that the House Resolution 420 found on page 6 be re-referred to the Committee on Rules. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The House Resolution 420 is re-referred to the Committee on Rules. Delegate from Albemarle, Delegate Carlson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for a motion.
The delegate has the floor.
Thank you. I move that the House take up out of order Senate Joint Resolution 238. And I move adoption of the resolution and request to speak to that motion.
Clerk will report a resolution.
Mr. Speaker, memorial resolutions laid on the Speaker's table. Senate Joint Resolution 238, celebrating the life of Eva Marie Coles Caldwell Baker.
The delegate from Albemarle, Delegate Carlson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members of the House. I rise today to celebrate and recognize the life and legacy of Eva Marie Coles Caldwell Baker, an extraordinary community leader and social worker who dedicated her life to service, education, and justice. Her family is here today, and I ask that they please rise. Ms. Baker devoted decades to helping others, first as a social worker and educator, and later as a tireless civic advocate in Charlottesville. She believed deeply in the power of service, the responsibility of leadership, and the importance of participation, always reminding those around her that democracy in its finest version requires engagement from us all. She was a pillar of the community, serving in churches, mentoring others, and leading organizations that uplifted women, families, and young people. And I can personally attest to that because when I first got involved in politics in 2017, I asked, the very first meeting I went to, I asked, who should I meet with next? And they said that it was Miss Baker. She had her pulse on politics, but beyond that, when you met with her, she looked you in the eyes and summed you up as a person and gave kind of a thumbs up, and it was the rest of the community that then followed that lead. So I'm so happy. I'm sad that we're in this moment, but happy that I can provide this recognition of the work that she did to get people involved in politics. Her legacy lives on not only through the memories that we have, the people that she uplifted, me right here in this seat, but through the family and friends that she loved so deeply. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to recognize her family, and on behalf of the House of Delegates and the Commonwealth of Virginia, I want to thank them for sharing her with our community and honor the remarkable life she lived. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Delegate from Albemarle, Delegate Carlson, moves that the House adopt Senate Joint Resolution 238, celebrating the life of Eva Marie Coles Caldwell Baker, and asks that the House adjourn in the honor and memory of Eva Marie Coles Caldwell Baker. All those in favor of the motion shall rise. The resolution is agreed to. Delegate from Shenandoah, Delegate Pence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for an introduction.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A group today joins us in the gallery from Central High School in Woodstock, visiting the Capitol today, along with their foreign exchange student from Spain. They're here learning about the Capitol, but really the real reason they're here is to cheer on my high school alma mater in the VHSL State 2A basketball tournament. So, Mr. Speaker, if you could get us out of here by 2, I could go make the game.
You got to talk to these guys.
I appreciate the time, and please give them a house welcome, a warm house welcome.
Welcome to the Capitol. The delegate from Norfolk, Delegate Glass.
Gratitude, Mr. Speaker. I rise for a motion.
The delegate has the floor.
Gratitude, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that when the House adjourn today, they adjourn in the honor and memory of Niaja Hill, and I'd like to speak to that motion.
The delegate has the floor.
Gratitude, Mr. Speaker. Today, we pause to honor the memory of Niaja Hill, a Granby High School graduate, a young woman whose life was full of promise, purpose, and possibilities. She walked the halls of Norfolk State, a place where her dreams were nurtured, her future was built, hopefully in the world of social work. But for her family, Mr. Speaker, that future was taken far too soon. There is a quiet understanding that there's a quiet understanding in the heart of every single parent that we hope to guide our children to celebrate their milestones, to watch them grow into the fullness of their lives. What we never imagine, what we never prepare our hearts for, is a jury fulfilling justice for a child we had hoped to watch live. When someone makes a reckless choice to drive impaired, that is not simply a mistake. It becomes a moment that shatters a family, that silences laughter, that leaves an empty chair at tables, and that will never allow folks to feel same again. Niaja should still be here. She lost her life on February 12th to a drunk driver in Portsmouth this year. And while we cannot return what was lost, I am hoping that this body, we can honor her by remembering that our choices carry weight, our responsibility is to one another, and that also carries consequence. Today we hold her name in care, and we lift her family up with compassion, and to her 2 older brothers and 2 older sisters and 2 little brothers, a fellow middle child. I'm sure she was the bridge. We commit ourselves to protecting precious lives that travel our roads every single day. May her memory move us towards a greater care for one another. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Delegate from Norfolk, Delegate Glass, moves that when the House adjourn today, it do so in the honor and memory of Niaja Hill. All those in favor of the motion shall rise. Motion is agreed to. The delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Keys-Gamarra.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for a motion.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you. I move that when we adjourn today, we adjourn in the memory of Catherine Agnes Martin, or Kathy Hudgens. Speaking to that motion.
Delegate has the floor.
Kathy Hudgens was a friend, and she was a servant in Fairfax County. She had an illustrious life of pioneering public service whose dedicated efforts have impacted countless lives in our community. Kathy Hudgens exemplified what we mean when we say a person has demonstrated exceptional commitment. Through her perseverance and stout leadership, she became the first African American on the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors. For over 20 years, she fought for better transit solutions, affordable housing, and sustainable community development. Through these efforts, she showed her community how to be a beacon, and she took time to lift others up. I want to say that I was one of those people that she took the time to lift up. After she gave up on trying to convince me to move to her district, she did support me in my quest to take this position. And one day I was knocking on doors. My husband just told me, go knock on the door and talk to Kathy. I didn't know it was the Kathy Hudgens. When she opened the door, she insisted that I come in. And to my husband's chagrin, I did. And all he saw was the door closed. 45 minutes later, I had been given the pep talk of my life. She wanted to make sure that I understood what she saw, the very things that we forget about ourselves. And she told me to stay focused and to never give up. I will always be grateful to her for her kindness and her love and her determination to make sure that people who loved her community actually worked in that community. And she played such a pivotal role, including extending the Silver Line to Metro to Tyson's Corner, Reston, and Dulles Airport. Kathy has been lauded and received rewards for her leadership, and she left this life about a year ago. She will be fondly remembered and deeply missed by our community, and even more deeply so by her children, Michael and Tony, and their families, her sister Dolores, and a myriad of family, friends, and lives that she touched. Therefore, I ask my colleagues to join me in recognizing and commending Supervisor Kathy Hudgens, my friend, for her lifetime of public service, and to thank her for the unmistakable impact she has made in Fairfax County.
The delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Keys Gamara, asks that the House, when the House adjourned today, it do so in the honor and memory of the Honorable Catherine Hudgens. All those in favor of the motion shall rise. The motion is agreed to. The delegate from, pursuant to House Rule 30, the Journal shall reflect that the following members are away on pressing personal business and are granted leave from today's session. Delegate Clark. The delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring. Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, I rise for a motion.
The delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House stand in recess.
Hold on, House will be at ease.
Mr. Speaker, prior to the Majority Leader's motion, custom and practice here is that it's my fault for not jumping to the hoop there yet. We'll do the page resolution. So today is the last day for our pages here, and the two head pages will present the page resolution. So for the next 5-10 minutes or so, if you would bear with us, we'd appreciate it. So the head pages may come to the rostrum, please. Yeah, you just stay. Yeah, you never know. And members, if you would be kind enough to go to the rear of the chamber, would be nice. Don't have to take everything, but they're just going to vote on the resolution at the end. And you. Bring the House back to order.
House will come to order. Ed Pages.
Whereas, we would like to welcome all the new delegates, freshmen, to this year's Virginia General Assembly and thank Speaker Don Scott for always being on time and kindly selecting amazing House pages and Carson and me as head pages. Thank you also to Delegate Herring for mercifully ending what seems like a never-ending day when she asked the Speaker to adjourn and serving as Majority Leader. Delegate Kilgore for dutifully attending his responsibilities as Minority Leader. Mr. Nardo for always being friendly, reliable, and rarely tongue-tied as clerk, and Mr. Wren for being a very dedicated sergeant-at-arms. And
whereas we appreciate Mr. Clerk for always keeping us cool, and I guess, Mr. Speaker, though there was that one time, the day before crossover, that he crashed out on the delegates for taking too long, and
whereas we want to thank Mr. Clerk for always being organized and graceful. Although there was that one time where I guess it wasn't really his fault, but long story short, he threw his metal coffee cup onto the tile and his salad all onto the carpet after someone bumped into him in chamber. And
whereas we want to thank all the delegates who generously provided the pages with pizza, donuts, cookies, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, candies, Little Debbie's, ice cream, and more. And
whereas we appreciate all the AAs, LAs, and delegates for overwhelming us with calls. Does anyone else hear that ringing? We delivered so many forgotten phones and speeches this year. If the delegates' heads weren't attached to their necks, I'm sure we'd be delivering those too. Or in Delegate Cole and Delegate Shin's cases, delivering Nintendo Switches on the Monday before crossover. No judgment. And Mr. Speaker, for the entire forest he used for the printed flyers that our pages had to deliver almost every week. And
whereas we will always remember the long days where delegates found interesting ways to keep themselves busy, like playing Block Blast, Delegate Simon, or Candy Crush and gaming on Nintendos. And
whereas we're so grateful for the RMC security at the Capitol Bank Street entrance for keeping us protected and safe every day before work. Thank you for putting up with our annoying lapel pins that seem to set off the detectors every time. And
whereas we are also thankful for Capitol Police for making sure we are safe in the Capitol and all around Capitol Square.
Whereas we want to give our gratitude to the best hotel chaperones, the Tunings, who put up with us the whole session, the tutors at the Omni who explained material to us and made everything click, and we also want to thank all the guest speakers we had this year. Your advice really prepared us for our page debate and opened our eyes and minds to your experiences in different fields. And
whereas we would like to recognize that the two delegates that left us to be senators.
Boo.
And the three members who left us to be in the executive branch. And on a serious note, we would like to remember to the delegate that we lost. Delegate Knight, who started his adventure in 2009, always put others first, loved fishing and his farm. He has lived on through his wife, 3 sons, and 5 grandchildren. Thank you to Delegate Knight for all he did for the House of Delegates and pages. And
whereas we also want to thank the delegates for the entertainment and comedy we got in the chamber. Thank you to Delegates Austin and Bloxham for their, activity on the page buttons. However, I think they were more entertained than the pages were. We'll never forget Oyster Day, Delegate Weber for his bragging on Delegate Pence about belt sizes, something Mr. Speaker aptly called caucus on caucus crime. And we actually found this funny because Delegate Weber didn't even bother to attend. He said he had a press conference to attend to. Sounds like he was scared of me. A special thanks to Delegate Simon for asking questions, hazing the freshmen, and although some delegates denied his questions, Delegate Pope Adams was brave enough to answer, using Siri. We'll never forget when the gentleman from Patrick County lost all of his marbles. Hey, Carson, what did the wake say to Delegate Williams?
What?
I got you covered. The wigs were also a thing at the basketball game anyway. And
whereas, thank you to Delegate McNamara, who urged the body to vote no, on a bill. Delegate Austin for his motivational fist bumps and random hugs. Delegate Whittle, who on February 27th, yes, we have the date written down because it was such an odd moment, decided not to wear a blazer on the floor. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. We will also always remember you and your distinctive cowboy hats. Mr. Speaker, the pages got you countless Diet Dr. Peppers from the fridge on this dais. Seriously, they should sponsor you. Your gavel can literally wake the dead, or in some cases, startle into an early grave Mr. Nardo. Thanks to Delegate Glass, who always talks to, the pages on the page bench, and on the day before Valentine's gave so many flowers to the pages, I think we would have enough to give to our moms. Thank you to the delegates that tried to win the basketball game for the House, even though you really fumbled. Wait, that's football. And
whereas, to our coordinators, Ms. Pond and Mr. Espinoza, you all have been our rocks and held everyone together this session. You guys did such a fantastic job. The two handled each challenge with grace and made the hardest tasks look easy. Every day, we would come into the page room in the morning, and you all would greet us with smiles on your faces that brightened everyone's day. We did not know what we would do without the both of you. Mr. Espinoza, we will definitely remember when you would eat 70 oysters before a session with me, and we couldn't help anyone because you felt so sick. Seriously. And you'll never forget your legendary last name, LeBron, and all the corny times you tried to speak our slang. And to Miss Puddle.
That's me.
Oh, my goodness. Miss Pond, sorry. I think it's safe to say that you trained us all to be neato stress ball connoisseurs. We'll miss the Miss Pond face, also seen on Miss Puddle. And on a serious note, though, we will truly miss you and your motivational words. And whereas, be it finally resolved, we thank all of the staff and members of the House of Delegates for providing us with memories that will last a lifetime. Don't hold it against us when we take your jobs.
You've heard the question. Shall the resolution be agreed to? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The resolution. I guess y'all got to press the doggone button, huh? Okay, y'all get to vote the button. Somebody said no. Clerk will close the roll. You guys have learned too much from us. Always a couple. Ayes 35, noes 2, 36, noes 2. The motion is agreed to. Resolution adopted. Which one of you pages want to adjourn the page prior to that? The delegate, the page from Norfolk. Page Fleming, stand up. You move that we adjourn. Hit the mic.
I move that we adjourn.
I move that the House pages adjourn.
All those in favor of the House pages adjourn say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. No. The House pages are adjourned. House will be at ease. House will come to order. Delegate from Alexandria, Doug Herring.
Mr. Speaker, I rise for motion.
Doug has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House stand in recess until 12:30.
Delegate from Alexandria, Doug Herring moves the House stand in recess until 12:30. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The House is in recess until 12:30. House will come to order. Delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House stand in recess until 1 o'clock.
Delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring moves that the House stand in recess until 1 o'clock. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The House is in recess until 1 p.m. House come to order. House be at ease. The House will come to order. Mr. Clerk. Clerk will call the calendar.
Yep. Speaker, we're now still in the morning hour, but the second, third, and fourth portions since the day is wearing on, so we are still in the first portion of the morning hour.
First portion of the morning hour. I'm sorry. Delegate from Prince William, Doug Maldonado.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move the adoption of resolution, which is HJR 315.
Speak to that motion. House Joint Resolution 315 relates to the election of circuit court judges, general district court judges, and juvenile and domestic relations district court judges.
Delegate from Prince William moves that we adopt House Joint Resolution 315. The question is, shall the reading of the report be waived?
No, just adoption.
Just adoption?
Yep.
Shall the resolution be adopted? It's not on the script. That's a recorded vote. Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 92, no 0.
Ayes 92, no 0. The delegate from Prince William will communicate the actions of the Senate and request its concurrence. House will be at ease. Clerk, call the calendar.
Members of the House, Mr. Speaker, the calendar for today, this Friday, the 13th, we have 2 resolutions and then commending and memorial resolutions category. So page 2 of the printed calendar, first order of business before you now is Senate Joint Resolution 139. It confirms appointments by the governor of certain persons communicated to the General Assembly February 2nd, 2026. This legislation was reported Committee on Privileges and Elections.
Delegate from Newport News, Delegate Price.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Joint Resolution 139 is a continuation of the Spanberger administration's appointments, and I would move that we adopt the resolution.
Shall the resolution be agreed to?
I'm just passing this one.
Clerk, close the roll.
Ayes 92, no zero.
Ayes 92, no zero. The Senate resolution is agreed to.
And the next and last resolution in this category, Senate Joint Resolution 140. This confirms appointments by the governor of certain persons communicated to the General Assembly February 23rd, 2026. Again, the Legislative Report Committee on Privileges and Elections.
Delegate from Newport News, Delegate Price.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Joint Resolution 140 is the same, and I move that we adopt the resolution.
Mr. Speaker?
The delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon.
Would the delegate yield for a question?
Would the delegate yield?
Does this have the parole board members on it?
Mr. Speaker, can this go by temporarily?
It does
Thank you.
not.
Mr. Speaker, no, it does not.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the resolution be agreed to?
I don't know, did the first one have to fall in? I don't know. I didn't look.
Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 93, no zero.
Ayes 93, no zero. The resolution is agreed to.
Mr. Speaker, continuing with today's calendar, we come to the next category, memorial resolutions laid on the Speaker's table. The memorial resolutions to be adopted in block are spread across pages 2 through 5, with the exception of Senate Joint Resolution 238, which has already been dispensed with, so the remaining bills on 2 through 5 are now before the body.
All those in favor of adopting the memorial resolutions laid on the Speaker's table that's listed on pages 2 through 5, with the exception of those announced by the clerk, will rise. Resolution is agreed to.
Right. And now we come to the commending resolutions laid on the Speaker's table. The commending resolutions to be adopted in block are spread across pages 5 through 11 of today's calendar, with the exception of House Resolution 420. Otherwise, all of those other resolutions on those pages are in the block.
With the exception of the commending resolutions excluded by the clerk, all those in favor of adopting the commending resolutions laid on the Speaker's table?
Can you recognize?
The delegate from Patrick County, Delegate Williams.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. I guess I rise for a question. Could we take a motion? Could we take Resolution 393 by for the day? Or out of the block? No, by for the day. Sorry.
Make up your mind.
Both.
Okay. House Resolution 393 is by for the day without objection.
And Mr. Speaker, just one other thing. And Delegate Watts asked unanimous consent earlier for House Resolution 486, commending James McConville. So in that block that I announced, all the bills between pages 5 and 11, with the exception now of House Resolution 393 and 420, and then all of those listed, and in addition to, adding to it, House Resolution 486. That's what is now before the body.
Okay. All those in favor of adopting the commending resolutions laid on the Speaker's table, with the inclusion of the one that was included by unanimous consent, and with the exclusion of those asked for to be passed by for the day. All those in favor of those commending resolutions will say aye. Those opposed, no. The resolutions are agreed to.
All right, and now continuing with the calendar here, we have about 19 conference reports in the category.
Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. Speaker, a message from the Senate.
The Senator from Eastern Fairfax, Senator Serville.
Mr. Speaker, good afternoon. I've been directed by the President of the Senate to inform the House of Delegates. The Senate has agreed to House Joint Resolution 315 and is ready to elect some judges.
Yay. See you.
Mr. Speaker, then we are coming to the next category, House bills in conference, and we have almost a dozen of these. So on page 11, a conference report has been received for House Bill 5, patroned by Delegate Converse Fowler. House Bill 5, this conference report relates to employment, paid sick leave, civil penalties. Conference report is available to the members here via iHod, to the public through the Legislative Information System, and that conference report for House Bill 5 is before you.
Delegate from Virginia Beach, Delegate Converse Fowler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the language of House Bill 5, as written in the conference report, makes some compromises with regard to a standing collective bargaining agreement at the Port of Virginia and small businesses across the Commonwealth to make sure they have the time to implement this. This bill takes a huge step towards securing paid sick benefits for Virginia's workers. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 61, noes 35.
Ayes 61, noes 35. The conference report is adopted.
Over on page 13, we have a conference report for House Bill 77, patroned by Delegate Krizik. House Bill 77 relates to enforcement of federal traffic infractions by state and local law enforcement officers, Planning District 8. The conference report is available to the members, to the public, and is now before you.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Krizik.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 77 authorizes local and state police to enforce federal traffic laws on the George Washington Parkway. The conference report puts this bill back in the posture in which it passed this body 90-7. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 89, noes 6.
Ayes 89, noes 6. The conference report is agreed to.
Over on page 17, we come next to a conference report received for House Bill 318, patroned by Delegate Hope. House Bill 318, this conference report relates to Virginia Parole Board, powers and duties, juvenile offenders, parole procedures, and considerations. The conference report is available to the members, to the public, and is now before the body.
Delegate from Arlington, Delegate Hope.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill relates to depoliticizing our parole board, also giving an opportunity for juvenile offenders to be eligible for parole. That's the bill that's before you. The compromise between the Senate version had a 2-year delayed enactment. The House had a 1-year delayed enactment. We went ahead and gone with a 2-year delayed enactment. I asked the body to pass the conference report.
So you folded. Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 65, noes 29.
Ayes 65, noes 29. The conference report is agreed to.
Remaining on that same page of the printed calendar, a conference report received for Delegate Krizig's House Bill 396. This conference report relates to charitable gaming, Texas Hold'em poker tournaments. The conference report is available to the members, to the public, and is now before you.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Krizik.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The conference report puts it back again into the posture where it passes body. And what it means is no cash poker all across the Commonwealth. And we did make one little edit so that the Senate could save face to allow for larger space for social orgs for large events. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House adopt the conference report.
You're not supposed to say it out loud. Shall the conference report be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 88, noes 8.
Ayes 88, noes 8. The conference report is adopted.
Turning to page 19, we come to a conference report for Delegate Watts's House Bill 476. This conference report relates to continuing care providers meeting requirements. The conference report is available to the members, to the public. It is now before you.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Watts.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 476 now provides in the quarterly meetings that at least 2 of them will be open to all members, and that at least 1 of those will be attended by someone who is not employed by the facility but is a representative of the provider or of the board. In addition, it also provides that at the request of the resident council, an individual who has been elected by the residents may attend in a non-voting advisory capacity of board meetings of the provider. I hope it'll be the pleasure of the body to adopt the conference report.
Shall the conference report be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 85, noes 10.
Ayes 85, noes 10. The conference report is adopted.
Over on page 22 of the printed calendar, conference report has been received for Delegate Maldonado's House Bill 667. This conference report relates to a juvenile domestic relations district courts, jurisdiction, definitions, petition by non-citizens aged 18 to 21 years for legal custody. Conference report is available to the members, to the public, and now before you.
Delegate from Prince William, Delegate Maldonado.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as a reminder, this bill, HB 667, passed this body, but it aligns Virginia law with existing federal law to protect our young immigrant adults that have been abused, trafficked, and neglected between the ages of 18 to 21. They receive protection under federal law, and this is simply, again, bringing Virginia law in alignment with federal law. We, with the conference report, we clarified the definition of child, minor, and juvenile to make sure it was consistent with federal law. And I ask that we move and adopt the conference report. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the conference report be adopted?
You're next.
Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 61, noes 34.
Ayes 61, noes 34. The conference report is adopted.
Same page, we come down now to conference report has been received for House Bill 705, patroned by Delegate Hayes. House Bill 705, this conference report requires the Board of Education to include a program of instruction on water safety in its next regularly scheduled revisions of the Health Education Standards of Learning and Curriculum Framework. The conference report is available to the members and to the public, and now before you.
Delegate from Chesapeake, Delegate Hayes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Members, we're happy to come to an agreement on this conference report and just ask that you accept the conference report.
Shall the conference report be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 77, noes 17.
Ayes 77, noes 17. The conference report is adopted.
Over on page 23 for Delegate Rasool's legislation, this conference report relates...
Sergeant at Arms. I'm sorry, Mr. Clerk. Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. Speaker, a message from the Senate.
Me again. Mr. Speaker, I've been directed by the President of the Senate.
Fairfax. Delegate from Eastern Fairfax. Senator from Eastern Fairfax, Senator Serville.
Haven't sat over there in a long time. Mr. Speaker, I've been directed by the President of the Senate to inform the House of Delegates in the execution of the joint order pursuant to House Joint Resolution 315. Nominations have been made by the Senate for certain judicial offices as listed in the attached papers.
Thank you. House will be at ease. The House will come to order. Mr. Clerk.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, Delegate Rasool's conference report, which the title of which this conference report deals with public schools, right to free public elementary and secondary education, discrimination based on immigration status prohibited requirements. The conference report is available to the members here, to the public, and is now before the body.
Delegate from Roanoke, Delegate Rasul.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, House Bill 836 conference report is to deal with an important bill so that way students cannot be discriminated against simply based upon their immigration status. What we did in this, Mr. Speaker, is keep in the right of action, but the prescription for what the guidelines will be for each school will be developed by the department as opposed to in the bill. I hope it be the pleasure of the body to pass the conference report.
Shall the conference report be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 62, noes 34.
Ayes 62, noes 34. The conference report is adopted. Let's do the next one because she's not ready. You ready? Are you ready? The time for the joint order has arrived, and the House on its part is ready to proceed with the execution of House Joint Resolution 315. Nominations are now in order for judges of the Judicial Circuit. The clerk will report a resolution.
House Resolution number 483, nominating persons to be elected to circuit court judgeships.
Are there further nominations? The chair hears none. As many in favor of the adoption of the resolution will say aye. Those opposed, no. The resolution is agreed to. Nominations are now in order for judges of the General District Courts. The clerk will report a resolution.
House Resolution number 484, nominating persons to be elected to General District Court judgeships.
Are there further nominations? The chair hears none. As many in favor of the adoption of the resolution will say aye. Those opposed, no. The resolution is agreed to. Nominations are now in order for judges of the Juvenile and Domestic Relations District Courts. The clerk will report a resolution.
House Resolution number 485, nominating persons to be elected to Juvenile and Domestic Relations District Court judgeships.
Are there further nominations? The chair hears none. As many in favor of the adoption of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The resolution is agreed to. The delegate from Prince William, Delegate Maldonado, will inform the Senate of the nominations made by the House. The House will be at ease. The House will come to order. Block voting for judges and other judicial officers will now commence. Those in favor of the nominees for judges of the circuit courts, as noted in House Resolution 483, for terms of 8 years commencing on the date specified, will vote yes. Clerk will close the roll. I know, I'm waiting on her to close the roll. Those in favor of the nominees for judges of the General District Courts as noted in House Resolution 484 for terms of 6 years, commencing on the date specified, will vote yes. Clerk will close the roll. Those in favor of the nominees for judges of the Juvenile and Domestic Relations District Courts, as noted in House Resolution 485, for terms of 6 years commencing on the date specified, will vote yes. Clerk will close the roll. Mr. Clerk?
Mr. Speaker, members of the House, Speaker appoints delegates Hope, Maldonado, and Kilgore as part of the committee on the part of the House to count and report the vote of each House in each case. So join us down in the Senate chamber, old Senate chamber.
The House will be at ease. You know I've done this a few times, right? The joint order under House Joint Resolution, the House will come to order. The joint order under House Joint Resolution 315 will be resumed. The delegate from Prince William, Delegate Maldonado.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to report that the committee to count the vote of each House met and the nominees fulfill the criteria for election. I move that the reading of the report be waived.
The question is, shall the reading of the report be waived? This is a recorded vote if you're in the break room. Clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 96, no 0.
Ayes 96, no 0. The reading of the report is waived. Those judges previously nominated in House Resolution 483, having received a majority of the votes cast by the members elected to each House, are declared duly elected as judges of the circuit courts of the appropriate judicial circuits for terms of 8 years commencing on the date specified. Those judges previously nominated in House Resolution 484, having received a majority of the votes cast by the members elected to each House, are declared duly elected as judges of the general district courts of the appropriate judicial districts for terms of 6 years commencing on the date specified. Those judges previously nominated in House Resolution 485, having received a majority of the votes cast by the members elected to each House, are declared duly elected as judges of the juvenile and domestic relations district courts of the appropriate judicial districts for terms of 6 years commencing on the dates specified. This concludes the joint order. The delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House stand in recess until 5 p.m.
Delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring, moves that the House stand in recess until 5 p.m. All those in favor of the motion will say aye. All those opposed, no. The motion is agreed to. The House stands in recess until 5 p.m. Mr. Clerk, tell them what to do.